My name's Kath Roberts. I play the baritone sax.
My name is Baby Wang. I'm playing percussion.
I'm Tori Hansley and I'm playing electric harp.
My name's Nabari Garcia and I play tenor saxophone.
I'm Sarah Good and I play the voice. I sing. Carried away.
Well, today was put together by Orphe Robinson and Cleveland Watkins. It was a new project, so he decided to put together a host of us, of people from different walks of life. We all play in many different bands and different styles, I think, as well. And the Freedom Sessions I've personally been quite involved with. Cass been coming down, Baby's been coming down. These guys are new, which is fantastic to have them here. And yeah, we've been running it monthly at the Vortex, every second Monday. It's still continuing. And the idea is to bring down people, not just from the jazz sector, but people like rock musicians, soul musicians, classical musicians, people who just want to come and improvise and hopefully be in the moment.
Yeah.
Well, it's a really nice opportunity for everyone to meet lots of musicians that you haven't played with before, and to just create spontaneous music. It's quite a privilege, and so it's very important that there are events like this festival that are happening to
Absolutely.
sort of build and sort of make, it's like an ecosystem, isn't it, to create some sort of a little culture there where we can all experiment
Definitely.
in these brand new lineups, you know.
I think bringing young musicians and, you know, the old masters who are coming down to the sessions as well and who are playing on throughout the festival as well. It's great to be crossing over the generations and hopefully spreading that.
And to have a wide open space basically for anyone to come, really. Isn't
Exactly.
It? Just anyone to come and play and do their thing and meet others.
Yeah, the idea is to make it as unelitist as possible so that it's open to everyone just to come along and
Bring something to the table.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Really encouraging.
I think it's great to have something alternative and different to the jazz festivals that are happening at the moment. You know, that it's embracing people from all walks of life, and
It's like rehearsed as well. That's nice, isn't it?
yeah, there's so
On
much
the spot,
spontaneity,
yeah.
as you were saying, absolutely.
Hi, I'm Claude Dapper, trumpet player, percussionist, director of sounds. Worked with the Jazz Warriors from the beginning. And we did, in fact, the first gig was in Brixton. Yeah, that's many, many moons ago. And the Jazz Warriors was an organic gathering of musicians who before then had worked sporadically together, but until the Jazz Warriors became a unit, was there a complete black band based in London by London young musicians. And it was part of the, what was the company called? The Abibi Jazz Arts was the mother company. And we wanted to create an orchestra with an education side to it. But like everything, politics got into it, and we had to create our own individual fields. So yeah, calling by the ancestors is what brought me here today. And it was good because I played music that, as Cleveland said, put hairs on the edge of your neck. And it's just, yeah, it's remembering that going, oh hell. And then seeing your own handwriting in something that was 25 years ago. Scary.
I'm Ray Carlis, saxophonist, tenor sax, mostly soprano, sometimes Barry. I think original Barry for the Jazz Warriors, I think. Yeah, I was there right at the beginning with all the lads. I think I was one of the senior ones. So I was kind of a little bit of a disciplinarian, keeping, telling people to be quiet and a bit adminish kind of person, along with Gail Thompson. She was big time disciplinarian. Like, she's mommy Gail. I mean, but we needed that at the time because we were all kind of young and fresh and too excited, too much testosterone at the time. Yeah, we put the Jazz Warriors together because we wanted to be able to play big band music, which a lot of us didn't really have access to. And to be honest, a lot of us didn't have the experience. We were still, early stages of learning how to do that stuff because we never had the opportunity to do so. So we formed our own big band and we made it a black band because we wanted to discriminate positively. And that brought us the attention that we needed, because people wanted to know why do you want to form a black band. And in the end, it didn't turn out that way. We had all sorts of people in the band. But yeah, I was there running off, looking funding, going to the Arts Council. That'd be one side, and with my begging cap for the Jazz Warriors, and John Cummings from Sirius on the other side with his begging cap for his fledgling, company, which has now gone, gone way massive. And so yeah, and creatively, we had a saxophone quartet with Courtney, Andy Haywood, Dammy Rose, and myself, and we managed to do a bit there, because there's things that we'd never done before, and so we're just making our own opportunities, and I'm sure the rest of the guys will have filled in all the rest. We needed the platform to get ourselves together. Get the experience of playing together in a big band setting. That was the reason for it in the first place, and it went much further than that. Until now, we've got Jazz Warriors International coming together to carry on the works. Because it's unfinished business really, and so as I said, watch this space.
My name's Rennell Shaw, I play bass.
My name's Zuri Jarrett Boswell and I play piano.
And my name's Philip Shield and I play harmonica.
Freedom Festival is, for me, it's a platform. It's a chance to explore language musically and meet new people and learn while creating. And I think that's really important, especially because a lot of the musicians that I've seen come on and stuff are people who I look up to, and you know, I've gone to gigs, and to kind of be given the opportunity to be around that is, for me, kind of what music's about, passing it on, but in a kind of very get up, just do it, just see what happens kind of vibe.
Yeah, pretty much. Just to add on to what Ronell said, yeah, it's just whenever I come to a Freedom event, there's always a really sort of special sort of vibe about the people that come, because Freedom is an unusual night in that. Obviously, you know, it's all free and improvised, but I believe there's a knack to it, and yeah, it's just an amazing. It sounds airy-fairy, but a wicked spiritual vibe, because you're on stage, but you're really connecting and listening and feeling your way through everything. So, yeah, Freedom Festival is an amazing place with amazing musicians. Yeah, that are down for improvisation. That's what it means to me.
Yes, I would agree with all those sentiments. And I think when you ask what is freedom, then the question itself almost is the answer, because freedom is like an open mind, constant discovery. What I love about these events is that every time I go, it's completely different. You know, we know that jazz is supposed to be about improvisation, and you know, no two performances are the same, but often the differences can be quite subtle in regular jazz. But when you go to a Freedom event, literally everything, the lineup, the players, the tonalities, the textures, everything comes together. And yeah, for me, when you ask me what is freedom, then that's what I'm here at this event to discover.
I don't go to normal quote-unquote jazz sessions. This is the Freedom event is the only one I go to, just because of the vibe. And yeah, there's definitely got a future for a festival here. Definitely. I'd love to see this go on for many years, you know what I mean? To come. Amazing.
Freedom on tour, that's what I want to see.
Well, that would be deep.
It's like going to cities and just shaking up people.
I certainly feel like there's like a growing movement. I've been involved in this for maybe 2 or 3 years of different guises, and literally every time I come, it's developed so much. It's like the philosophy of the music also goes into the organisation as well. So this really is one of those things where I don't know where it's going to go specifically, but I do know that it's growing massively, and I know that the audiences, when they come, you get people who come who've been there before, you get people who have never come there before, you get some people who come who've never been to a jazz thing, and they are engaged. It's like they are listening to it with an intensity of like a classical concert, but with the relaxed nature of a jazz gig. But at the same time, you know, feel free to talk, don't talk, get a drink. There's no rules, there's no restrictions. Anyone can come, you know, anyone can wear what they like. It's almost like a mandate for life, you know. It's freedom of music, but also the people and the philosophy and the atmosphere. I don't think you can really quite get that kind of thing anywhere else.
Hi, my name is Otto Williams. I am the bassist. I just played with Blacktop. I'm from New York City. Left New York when I was like 23. Went to Houston, Texas. Then I lived in Japan and worked in Japan as a musician for 10 years. And I've been here in the UK for 19 years. And this is my first time at the Vortex. I've always wanted to play here. I have it's a really unusual history. I started out as a fine artist. I paint and sculpt, and I went to the school, Figueroa H. LaGuardia High School of Music and Art. Everybody in the world knows it as the Fame School, because in the 11th grade, that's when they made the movie Fame. I was an art major there, and I used to like going to the music floor and to peek in and listen to all the music, and that's when I opened one particular door and I heard the bass for the first time. I was in a music store at Manny's Music, and Michael Abaniak walked in and heard me playing. I think I was 19. And Michael asked me to play. He said he needed a bass player to play when his bassist couldn't play. And at the time, Marcus Miller was his bassist. So I said, he asked if I wanted to play with him, of course. So I ended up doing work with him, and that was with Kenny Kirkland and Yogi Horton on drums. Then I went to Houston, Texas. I moved to Houston, Texas. And in Houston, Texas, that's where I got a chance to play with Ray Charles, which was amazing and scary. But amazing, because he heard everything. And after Ray Charles, I joined a group called Curlew, and that was replacing Bill Laswell on bass. And that band was Nikki and Antoine Fig on drums, Nikki Scopolidis on guitar, Tom Coro on cello, and that was a part of the new music, which is very similar to what Blacktop are doing. Jalamadim Takuma had just formed his band. It's a whole scene in New York at that time. I ended up living in Japan for 9.5 years, and I worked with 5 big Japanese artists. I did their albums and their tours. And I had my own band, and I set up a residency for the band also, Science International Band. And from there I came here to the UK. In the UK, while being here, I've worked with Keziah Jones. I did Sia's first album, Jaleesa Anderson, Shaka Khan. I was her musical director for her Japan tour. And other artists. It's hard for me to remember.
My name's Alfie. I play vibes, and obviously sit around trying to come up with ideas of how we can get heard by people.
I'm Cleveland Watkins. I'm a vocalist, 1/3 of the directorship of Warriors International. And we're pushing ahead with some new ideas for the millennium. And we're just trying to, in amongst all the crap that's going on around the world, we're trying to create something positive and new. Yeah, we're here at the towards the end of our Freedom Jazz Festival. Our first major event, really, as an organisation, and been hard work, but it's been great. We've had some really fantastic ensembles play throughout the festival, and it's something we're gonna obviously develop and hopefully take around the country and around the world eventually.
I would think with Warriors, a lot of the kind of situations and circumstances that the original Warriors came about, we were back there. We were in a place where youngsters were not really being allowed to express themselves through the arts as such. A lot of sort of policies now impact on how they can actually, I think, be as humans. We need to be able to express ourselves, whether it's in the written word or whether it's through music or all different aspects as of the arts. Again, with the opportunities not being there, but a lot of talent actually being out and not being able to express themselves, to find platforms. It would make sense for us to bring back the name of the Warriors and be warriors for change, really, to help maybe to open the door by using, obviously because we've been around and we have a track record, as ourselves as individuals and collectively in various different things through the years. Thought it would be a really good idea to be able to sort of just come up with interesting programs and then take that forward and bring in new people and make it really open, not make it so obsessed with polishing things that had already happened in the 50s, 60s, whatever. We wanted to really be of now, of the period, to be a window out to the world, and we would find that through meeting people who weren't in, I suppose, set institutions and things. As in, when I say institutions, I mean say music schools or sort of places of knowledge where you can sometimes be moulded into somebody's image or vision of what you should be. So it's kind of interesting to just go around and maybe just tap into different things, different people, make it a real open platform, show real diversity rather than just talk about it, but actually do it. And the festival is a byproduct of that. It's another sort of area where we could kind of focus a lot of different ideas, have workshops and concerts, and put together ensembles and things so that we could then, I suppose, highlight something. It's like a staging post, and then each year we'll build on that, or each day we'll build on that. The audiences are growing with us as well. We're all learning together, so it's really showing freedom in its, I suppose, its best form, really.
So without further ado, Black Top.
Reproduction. Official sound system on the world touch. Yeah.
To tell you the truth, I never think about the subject of what I'm doing. I only think about the quality of what I'm doing. So for me, making music is like a form of religion for me, because it soothes the heart and increases the pleasure of the brain. And most of all, it's very enjoyable to express something that you can only hear and can't see.
Yes, my name is Tony Kofi, saxophonist, baritone, soprano, tenor, flute, yes. And I'm a constantly evolving musician that is exploring new avenues and new heights of the musical journey that I'm on, And I've had the pleasure of working with some of the greatest musicians. I first heard about the Warriors when I was actually living in Nottingham, and I heard that there's a group of black musicians gathering, and because at the time when I lived in Nottingham, I couldn't even get into a big band, so all predominantly white, and I couldn't get a leg in the door. So when I heard the Warriors, I was like, wow, you know. I came down and I thought this has got to be a dream. So I went there and tried out for it, got in, and it was just amazing. But for me, it was the tail end of it, you know, and then it kind of like disbanded. But something in the back of my head told me that it's going to revive. There's going to be a revival. And then when Cleveland and Orphy Robinson started doing the Warriors International thing and inviting other people and expanding it, and it was only a matter of time before something like this, you know, the freedom art of improvisation started to happen, you know. So yeah, it's amazing. You know, my theory is that this is something that is not going to just stay in one place. It's going to expand. You know, you'll have, you know, I don't know, next year it might be down at the Brilliant Corners and the Vortex and somewhere else. So, you know, and there'll be lots of different bands playing, and you've got a variety of seeing some great musicians, some international musicians as well, you know. But I think that this is something it's just gonna expand. I mean, you know, for me, it's like osmosis. You cannot contain it. It's just gonna grow. Expand. I originally was with the World Saxophone Quartet, and we were doing the music of Jimi Hendrix, and within that group was a bass player named Jamaluddin Takuma, who worked with Ornette from when he was 18 years old, and he was working with the World Saxophone Quartet, and I ended up being able to work in his group when. Yeah, I ended up working in his group called Culture and Configurations, and it kind of like worked on a basis where, because I was in his group, he was doing a project to his mentor, Ornette Coleman, and he asked me if I'd like to. Well, he didn't ask me. He says, "You're coming in and doing this project, you know, with me." And Ornette Coleman's gonna be on alto, and I'm gonna be on tenor saxophone, and you know, it's all gonna happen in New York. And I was like, "This is no way. This no way is gonna happen. There's no way I'm gonna meet my hero, Ornette Coleman." And it happened, and I was like absolutely dumbfounded, awestruck that this man that came to New York in 1959 and totally blew the lid off the jazz, you know, the jazz universe as it was known then, you know, and he gave a lot of people freedom, you know, and that's what I believe that Ornette, listening to Ornette as a youngster, you know, I even though I learned the traditional style of music, Ornette was about freedom, and that freedom, you know, it's just a beautiful thing because it allowed me to play how I felt, and it gave me a lot of confidence, you know, and it expanded to a lot of people because you know John Coltrane understood what Ornette was doing. A lot of people came around to his way of thinking, even though at the time people didn't think he could play, but yeah. So with the Ornette Coleman experience, you know, I think it's affected a lot of musicians, and I believe that if there was no Ornette Coleman, there would be no Art of Improvisation Festival, because you know that freedom, it gave way to a lot of things, and you know a lot of festivals have been created just because of someone like Ornette Coleman, you know, and you know I'm. Even though you know his time on this earth is over and he's gone, you know, he's left an amazing legacy, and the concert we did today, you know, coincided with his funeral at the exact same time. So it was great to play his music and expand on that, and for the people that have not heard his music before, it was great to present this music to him, and I'm sure that you know it's gonna grow. You know, something like this. You know, there's gonna be like a Ornette Coleman festival, like you have a Charlie Parker festival and John Coltrane and stuff like that, and Lionel Hampton. So there's gonna be an Ornette Coleman festival, This is a start of things to come, shape of things to come, like a quote from one of his albums.